What's going on, my friends? Hope you're having an amazing day as always. It's been a very confusing, a very hectic, and a very dishonest media cycle, 24-hour media cycle. So I've taken documentation, I've taken screenshots, I have all of the articles, I have all of the social medias in front of me, and I want to go through today how far they go to deceive, to dupe, and spin almost every single story that comes out every single day. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them because it happens every single day, all day, and it's been happening for years. But if you watch this video, if you tag a friend, I'm going to be chill, cool, calm, and collected, and I'm going to walk you through how Facebook lied and deceived everybody today, how Twitter lied and deceived everybody today, how The Hill lied and deceived everybody today, and how all of the social medias and the celebrities and everybody, they work together in this weird, creepy, Orwellian tech overreach state to lie, dupe, and deceive people. And I have all the proof. You could check for yourself. And this happens every single day. It's just I don't physically, mentally, or spiritually have the time to go through all of it. So let's wait about 24 seconds for everybody to come in. What's up, Joe? What's up, Colleen? What's up, Joshua? God bless you guys. I'm working overtime, so I'm going to post my links below at the end of the video. If you'd like to support, my donor box link will be there. If you'd like to pick up a shirt or hat, it's dreamrare.com, especially the donor box. That helps a lot, allows me to do this stuff. Let's wait 10 more seconds for people to get in. My Instagram is dreamrare. My Twitter is legendary energy. My website is legendary.vision. And let's get on into it because people were in here. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so it's hard for me to encompass all of this a lot. I think I've done a good job this time to walk through exactly how Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, even bipartisan news outlets like The Hill, every television station, how they are successfully able to dupe and deceive so many kind-hearted, smart people. While you might have liberal values like I do, peace, love, positivity, I don't believe in the conservative agenda, or you don't believe in the conservative agenda, whatever, that's not important. What is important is the truth, honesty, and integrity, and you're just not getting it. So first I'm going to go to Twitter, and I'm going to tell you exactly how they spun it, and then I'm going to go to Hill, how they spun it, and then they had a big Russia meddled in the United States elections. Today, I'm going to show you how they lied about that as well. I have it all here, so just stay tuned. I'll go as quick as I can. So we found out that FBI agents who were kicked off the Mueller investigation, who were responsible for changing the wording to basically let Hillary Clinton get away without a charge, they were texting saying, POTUS wants to know everything. So the big bombshell story was not a Republican story, it was not a Democrat story, it was from higher levels of government, which both sides should be concerned about. The story was that the agents said that the president wants to know everything. So here's how Twitter at first pitched it. And I say all the time, they use the same three words to basically keep people under a spell. They use Russia, they use right-wing, they use Republican. Sometimes it's racist, sometimes it's sexist. All of those things are terrible things if true. Besides Russian, I don't think there's a problem with being of that ethnicity. However, they do that to keep liberals and people left-leaning in a cloud and just kind of mind control you however they want. So Twitter first pitched the news story. They said, newly revealed FBI texts say Obama wanted to know everything. They put it out there like that. And then, of course, even in that pitch, it was still actually really biased and spun. So even though they said newly revealed FBI texts say Obama wanted to know everything, they had a little paragraph under which said, well, some people are saying it's fine, but the right-wingers are saying it's all bad. So even when they pitch it to you accurately or honestly or unbiasedly, there's still bias in there. That's why people are so surprised when something happens like Trump wins or this or that. It's because even the accurate news sources or the fair, lob of it is actually extremely biased. Everything is spun to an extremist left-wing agenda. I'm saying that as someone left-leaning. There's an extremist left-wing spin on Twitter. There's an extremist left-wing spin on Facebook. And for the left-wing liberals, apparently that's not enough. They want a full-on police technocracy state where freedom doesn't exist, where flow of information doesn't exist. So that was the original pitch, which, like I said, it was already too far left. It was already dishonest. But then a couple hours later, here's how they changed it. They completely rewrote the whole featured story. And this is one of like 100 featured stories that actually don't go in their direction. They rewrote it to say, newly revealed FBI texts say Obama wanted to know everything about Russian meddling. So and The Hill wrote about it, NBC wrote about it. I'm going to pretty much debunk that whole thing. So they changed the whole narrative of what happened. What happened was FBI agents, possibly colluded with the president to, upend and control certain investigations, which we could find out more. I'm not saying to jump on and say guilty. I'm not saying to jump off and say innocent, but what I'm saying is both sides of the debate, use your brain and let's get to the bottom of the barrel on every situation. So they even rewrote the paragraph below. So here's how they pitched it the second time. Newly revealed FBI texts show Obama wanted to know everything about Russian meddling. The text came from Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, 2 agents who were dismissed from the Mueller investigation when different texts were critical of Trump. Some would argue that Obama's request for intel showed that he was doing due diligence in Russia's potential election meddling. Many right-wingers say the text indicates corruption. So they say, the truth is right-wing. It's only right-wingers. There's millions of people, there's millions of left-leaning people who don't buy this BS too. And guess what? That's why they lost the election, because they ignored the millions of people who don't buy the BS. They ignored the Green Party voters. They ignore the Bernie Sanders supporters. They ignore the smart left-leaning people who are environmentalists and care about the wars. So the big bulk of left-leaning people, it's not the brainwashed people who believe everything on liberal news. It's the progressive, pseudo-progressive, whatever left-leaning movement. That's where all the people are. That's where all the energy is. That's where all the, the rallies were. And they still ignore those people and try to say any type of slight truth, any type of slight bipartisan, objective, real-life situation is a right-wing corruption. And what's even more disturbing about how they changed the text on this is it had nothing to do with Russian meddling. This text was sent on September of 2016, and I'm going to get into the second part. It's the Hill report. FBI text referred to the briefing on Russian interference, not Clinton probe. So they do this with anytime the truth gets out, like even for a split second, even though when they pitched the truth, it was still biased, they were still lying to you. Even at their peak honest, they were lying to you. They were spinning it. But that's not enough. And this is what the police state technocracy does. It has nothing to do with liberal values. It has nothing to do with social justice. It has nothing to do with being better than Republicans. It's literally the top of the pyramid, the top politicians on the Democratic and Republican side, the top execs at Facebook, Google, and Twitter, and all of their staff. It's about them creating an entire technocratic police state to censor, control, and filter you back into the hands of the oppressor. I mean, that's what's behind all of this. And they're successfully allowed to do it because if they say Russia, they do whatever they want. They could change Twitter, change Facebook, lie to you on Google, lie to you on Twitter. So there's no way that these people were talking about the Russian interference into the election and the Russia investigation. Do you know how I know? Because when the texts were sent on September 2016, there was no Russia investigation. There was no investigation. So they're literally allowed to lie to you. Do you know how they do it? I've told you millions of times. They piggyback on another report. So the Hill said FBI text referred to briefing Obama on Russian interference, not Clinton. Report. So they put report in parentheses and they reference somebody else. So all that has to happen is one news source has to make it up. Washington Post, New York Times, whoever. And they don't even have to have a reasoning. Like I said about the shithole countries thing, whether you believe it was said or not, everybody's reporting was based off the Washington Post reporting, which was based off an anonymous, unnamed source of somebody familiar with the meeting. That's what they said themselves. So the entire world will believe anything off of one report from a newspaper because then all the other newspapers piggyback off it. So even though the Russian interference investigation didn't happen until after the text messages were sent, it didn't even exist. And there's evidence of Barack Obama saying a month before the election around this time, he's on television saying to your face, this is how dumb Barack Obama thinks you are. This is how dumb the news thinks you are. This is how dumb Facebook thinks you are. I don't think you're dumb. If I thought you were dumb, I would just lie to you and be like, you know what, people are dumb, screw it. They think you're this dumb. Obama's on TV a month before the election. He's saying, I have the clip. You could scroll down on my page. I have all of these clips. He's saying anybody that believes in election interference and election rigging is a complete fool. He's laughing at Trump. He's saying, how dare Trump even question that the election can be rigged? There's no such thing as election rigging. So the news wants you to believe that these text messages were about a non-existent Russian investigation that wasn't even around when the President of the United States was telling you to your face that why would they be investigating something that they just said is impossible to rig? So nothing about this report is true, and they don't even say it in the actual article. The Hill, they have no proof, and of course they don't, because it never existed. So they can literally put this headline out. Twitter changes their text. They say it's a right-wing conspiracy, even though there's millions of people on the left who don't buy this stuff either. It's like, literally at this point, it's only people that are brainwashed by the anti-Trump, I hate Republicans so much, I'll believe anything. I mean, I don't like certain people. You know, I preference certain people and certain policies, but I don't just believe anything I read on a headline. I don't believe anything I read on Facebook. That's why I'm here, because I started getting into it. And I'm like, wow, they're lying about everything. So you read the article. Text messages exchanged between two FBI employees stated that President Obama wanted to know everything. Referred to the Bureau's investigation into interference in the 2018 election, not a probe into Hillary Clinton's email server. The Wall Street Journal reported on Wednesday. So the Wall Street Journal reported it, and now everyone believes it. And let's see why they say it existed. They must have a really good source. The report highlights one exchange from September 2016 in which Page wrote, "POTUS wants to know everything we're doing." Go down. By the time the texts were sent, the FBI had closed its investigation into the Clinton email case. It did not reopen the case until October. The Wall Street Journal reports contradicts the claim that Johnson's report, now they're saying, well, it couldn't have been about Clinton's emails because her email investigation was closed during that time, and then it reopened during October. That's their big bombshell proof. They're saying, no, it has to be about the Russian investigation because it's not about the Clinton case because they closed it and then they opened it and they closed it and then they opened it, and these texts were sent when it was closed. But there's not a single sentence in this whole article. There's not a single sentence that explains why it would be about the Russian election interference, because there is no possible way it could be. They don't even have proof. There's not one line in this whole article that matches the headline. It's because it's not true. There was no investigation into Russia until after the election, because they admitted in their own emails that if they were to lose, their weak spot's Russia, so they're going to start blaming everyone for Russia. It's bananas that people will believe this. And if you think that's bananas, just wait. I caught them in another massive lie. So this is how I understand why people are so confused. And, I have deep compassion because I understand it is complicated to get to the truth because you're being lied to on Twitter. Twitter lied to you today. They told you a basic bipartisan truth is a right-wing conspiracy. The Hill lied to you, and The Hill is one of the most balanced news organizations on the planet. They're like the only one who publishes actual information. You won't find it on the other ones, and even they're lying. So I caught them in another lie today. Here, ready? Because I log into Facebook, and I'm like, you know what? Facebook must be talking about this in some, and I wanted to see the spin Facebook had on it. So Facebook, not only were they not talking about the text messages, not only were they not spinning it like The Hill and lying about it like The Hill and lying about it like Twitter, making up a complete conspiracy theory that the text messages were about an investigation that literally didn't exist. So this is mainstream publication news, the Wall Street Journal, The Hill, Twitter, completely lying to you, making up something that has no basis whatsoever, and they don't even pretend like they have a basis. They don't even have a line in the whole article that would explain why it would be about that. So I go onto Facebook, I look in the featured news section. There's not one trending story about the text sent. There's a trending story about the Homeland Security saying that Russia successfully penetrated our election. Whoa! I understand why people wouldn't know the truth because the lying is that ridiculous. So not only are they telling you the truth, not only are they not covering the article, the big bombshell trending story is Russia actually hacked our election. They've been saying this for a year, but they claim to have more proof that Russia... Here's the headline, The Hill. It's an NBC report. NBC reported it. It's the trending story on Facebook. So if you're liberal if you're left-leaning and you hate Trump, or even if you're Republican, you're like, whoa, Russia hacked the election. So you're not only, they're telling you that the truth about the text is Russian, Russia hacked the election, it all goes full circle. So you're like, whoa, it's all Russia. Like, I don't want to read that. It's just Russian. Okay, so ready? I'm going to debunk this whole article. You can read it for yourself. It's ridiculous how they're allowed to lie to people like this. So that's millions of people on Facebook think that Russia meddled in our election and hacked our election and changed voter ballots. That's the literal headline trending. So The Hill. DHS cybersecurity chief. Russia successfully penetrated some stater voting rolls. If you read that headline, you would think Russia successfully penetrated some stater rolls. They influenced our election. That's crazy. I mean, even me too. Do you think I think it's okay that Russia hacks our stater rolls? That's bananas. If they get caught doing that and they change votes, we should know about it, right? Let's go into the article. A U.S. cybersecurity official said on Wednesday that Russia successfully penetrated the voter rolls in a small number of states in 2016. Jeanette Manfra, the head of cybersecurity at Department of Homeland Security, DHS, told NBC News that Russia targeted 21 states and an exceptionally small number of them were actually successfully penetrated. So here's the story dialing back, and it's going to dial back even further. It's actually quite ridiculous how far this story dials back. So the headline, and this is on Facebook. They're talking about this. They're not talking about the text. They're literally telling you on Facebook, Russia hacked the election. So then you get into the article and they say, well, they successfully penetrated 21 states, and an exceptionally small number were actually successfully penetrated. So they won't even tell you how small is that number. This is the quote. An exceptionally small number of them are actually penetrated. That's all they say. They don't say 1, they don't say 10, they don't say 100, they don't say 1,000. What is an exceptionally small number? I mean, if you're going to write a whole article and make it the trending story in the world, how many? 10, 100, 1,000? So you think that's bad, just wait till the story dials back, because it dials back into literally nothing. So just like every story they've put out in the past 2 years, that's why we're here. So you go to the next couple paragraphs and it says, you read, it was Manfred, blah, blah, blah. They talk about it forever. Here's the key line. I'm sorry, I was trying to find it. Officials told NBC there is no evidence any of the voter rolls were altered in any way. Wow. So the headline is, Russia successfully hacked into voter rolls. The first and second paragraph said, it's an exceptionally small amount of voter rolls. We're not even going to tell you how exceptionally small that they successfully penetrated. And then the last 7 paragraphs down, it says, officials told NBC that there is no evidence that any of the voter rolls were altered in any way. So no votes were changed. They did nothing. And even security experts have been on, CNN, Fox, and everything to explain to you. Anyone who's good at computers knows when you hack and when you do stuff, you can't tell where somebody's hacking from. An intelligent hacker can make it seem like they're in Russia, can make it seem like they're in China. It's mainstream news that China hacked into our government 3 years ago. I mean, search China hacks United States, and you could find all articles about other countries hacking other countries. It's happened a million times, but this is how they deceive you. So they put out a story, the FBI working with the sitting president of the United States. Twitter tells you it's a right-wing conspiracy. They tell you it's a Russian conspiracy. The Hill tells you it's Russian, and then Facebook doesn't even talk about it. They tell you that Russia's hacking the election when Russia never did anything to the election. So the amount of mind control, the amount of duping that they're doing is ridiculous levels. And I also just shared an article. All of this stuff you can pretty much see on my page if you scroll down, written by a left-wing person, Caitlin Johnstone. She's a super left-wing just truth teller. She's sick of the BS. She's explaining how all of this isn't enough. So they're lying to you on Facebook every day. They're lying to you on Twitter every day. They're lying to you on Google every day. They're altering algorithms to try to make sure that the truth doesn't come out. And then they have celebrities like Jim Carrey, who acts fake woke, but he's really just a shill for the establishment. You have Rob Reiner and others. They want to go further. They're trying to pressure Facebook further. Facebook right now is a complete shill for the establishment. There's nothing fair about Facebook. There's nothing accurate about their news section. There's nothing honest about it. They're like 99% left-leaning to the point of like complete fascism, totalitarianism, and technocracy, Orwellian censorship state. That's how close they are. And it's celebrities like Jim Carrey and Rob Reiner trying to push them further left. They're saying, just turn into Hitler. Why not just be like Stalin? Just screw the truth. This is what's happening. I mean, there's nothing accurate. Facebook doesn't need to go further left. They want Facebook to push more Russian delusion. They're already doing it every single day. Everything about everything that they do is a complete fabricated illusion. And it's not enough. They want more. They want more. They're changing algorithms. They have artificial intelligence that's censoring people and silencing people. I even took a screenshot, it's on my Twitter, of my friend who, his mom watches Fox News on Comcast. And the whole thing is pixelated, and he's telling me it only happens on Fox News. So now they're censoring. And keep in mind, with TV, I don't care who watches what. I just want there to be a balance, and I want there to be full discussion. They lie to you on CNN, and you're talking to somebody left-leaning. I'm not a lifelong Republican. They're lying to you on CNN. They're lying to you on NBC. The spin is on every single network. The only network that you can even get slight information from in 2018, I'm not talking about 2005 or 2007, I'm talking about now, is Fox News. They're the only ones that have honest liberals on. They have Dennis Kucinich on. They have left-leaning people. They have people from Planned Parenthood. They have real discussion. They have real debate. They're even pixelating that. So it's not even enough that they own 95% of the television stations. They own all the TV stations. They own Comedy Central's under their control. CBS is under their control. NBC's under control. CNN. They're even now pixelating people's TV. It's like Orwellian censorship state where they lose the election, they rig the whole election, convince everyone that Russia rigged the election, even though they rigged the election, just so they could keep rigging. And if people believe this stuff, they can use this as justification to do almost anything. Like, oh yeah, let's shut down Facebook because they're Russian. Let's shut down Fox News. They're working with the Kremlin. Let's shut down, anyone who doesn't agree with us. This is the totalitarian, Orwellian state that we're worried about. And I do want to say on the note of Comcast, it took me 2 minutes to figure out who Comcast was working with because I was like, wow. I was like, that's interesting. Why is Fox News so pixelated on your TV station? Let me check it out. Let's see, and I searched Hillary Clinton Comcast. What do you know? In 2016, February 25th of 2016, Hillary Clinton was getting $357,768 from telecommunications lobbyists. This was the highest. The second highest was Ted Cruz, Republican, at $48,241. So Hillary Clinton was getting 6, 7, 8 times as much money from the telecommunication companies like Comcast. They're having shows for her. They're doing all these sorts of donation, donor dinners and whatnot. Hillary's making 10 times as much from Comcast and all these other people. She's working with Google. Google's Alphabet made a whole new parent company or sister company to work for Hillary Clinton's campaign. Just follow the money. It's not like this thing where I'm like, oh, I wonder why they're doing it. I know why they're doing it. They're all working together. Google worked with Hillary Clinton. NBC's working with Hillary Clinton. CNN. Facebook. I mean, they all are. And when they don't comply, even Facebook was just trying to chill. They want to ruin everything. So I would think that the modern liberal would understand, whether it's coming from the right or it's coming from the left, a complete Orwellian censorship technocratic state where every news corporation is owned by the same extremist liberal values that want to use social justice and feminism and all these fake Russian hacking that never even existed. They want to use it to censor and silence people and wrap up the discussion. They do it every single day. They do it every single day on Facebook. They do it every single day on Twitter. They do it every single day on the television, to the point where they're now pixelating people's screens so they can't even watch the one station that doesn't agree with them. I mean, this is getting disturbing. So this is my call to all liberals. This is my call to all progressives, to left-leaning and right-leaning people alike. This is bigger than whether you think our taxes should be 27% and 29%. This is bigger than whether you think that people's taxes should be paying for abortions or whether women should just buy it for themselves. This is bigger than, I really don't like the words he said. Even though I'm ignoring 7 wars and I'm ignoring the fact that my favorite politicians are going to other countries, killing the leader, funding terrorists, and letting extremists who, engage in slavery. I don't care about that because actions don't matter to me because the TV lies to me. So it's like, go ahead, kill people and start slavery. I don't care, but don't say big bad words. And whoa, his wife might not like him. That's the big story. I mean, it's bigger than that type of Kardashian style. I mean, hypocrisy and straight up delusion. The fact that like the 7 wars don't matter, Syria doesn't matter, Iraq doesn't matter, Afghanistan doesn't matter, Somalia, Yemen doesn't matter. It's all about, well, my feelings are hurt from a word that I heard on the Washington Post from an anonymous source that probably isn't even real anyway. So that's why I'm outraged. I'm an activist. That's not activism. Real activism right now is standing up for your brothers and sisters, whether they be right-leaning or left-leaning, to be able to tell the truth. Because I'll tell you what, I've told you time and time again, and many people don't want to believe me because they're so liberal or they're so balanced, or like I said, they listen to NPR and they think that's the big scoop. Like, oh, they're so fair and balanced. They're not. I'm sorry. If you're an honest liberal, if you're an honest left-leaning person, the only news station that will have you on is Fox News. That's just the way the cards fell. I'm not saying Republicans are better. I'm not saying conservatives are better. I'm not being biased. That's just where we're at because the complete technocracy state of Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Hillary Clinton, John McCain, Mitt Romney, Barack Obama, it's the Republicans and the Democrats. They own every other news station. They own and control and guilt every other social media into playing their game. They own and control the entire celebrity elite class to the point where there's like this much Fox News left, and there's like this much, left-leaning people telling the truth, like Julian Assange, and this much, and the other ones coming to eat it. And then the liberals were like, oh no, Fox is bad, let's destroy it. I mean, that's what you're literally doing. That's what it is. This is Facebook, Google, Twitter, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, John McCain, CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, half of Fox News like Shep Smith and all those other people. All of the social medias, everything. And this is like me. This is Julian Assange. This is Caitlin Johnstone. This is Jimmy Dore. This is, these are all the left and right-leaning people who are just like, whoa, you're about to let our whole entire, society collapse because you think that, oh, that's the big scoop. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Fox News is bad. Sean Hannity's bad. Julian Assange is Russian. That's what you'll get if you keep pushing. It's not liberal. It's not left-leaning. It's not accurate. It's not balanced because, NPR lied to you and told you Dennis Kucinich is like a Fox News guy. He's a left-leaning person who tells the truth. And that's what they do to left-leaning people who tell the truth. They call you Fox News. They call you Republican. They call you right-wing. They call you conservative. They call you Russian. Everybody's Russian. Everything's Russian. But they have no proof. I can go into every article, and I've done it. It's happened thousands of times. Like I did today, I literally exposed all of their articles for being completely baseless. I could do this every single day. I almost do it every single day. I just don't have the time to compete with 50 news corporations that have 100,000 employees. But I still do. So if you would like to support, I appreciate it because the amount of work I'm doing that I'm putting in is not easy. But I don't care. I'll keep doing it. I'm just saying, this is the liberal fight. This is the progressive fight. This is the left-leaning fight to stop the technocracy from literally Orwellian style destroying our entire free speech society. And they're doing it because Comcast is sold out. The cable companies are sold out. The social media is sold out. And anybody that doesn't sell out will get either guilted or they'll get pressured into doing it. And you have fake woke people like Jim Carrey. Everyone quotes him that's like a hippie like me. That's like, oh, Jim Carrey's so woke because he's like, society, screw society, I'm crazy. Everyone's like, oh, dude, he's like the #1 guy pushing the Russia, police state technocracy. He's not woke. He is the oppressor. He's trying to bully Facebook into being even more left-leaning than they are. That's how you get a Hitler or a Stalin or someone of that level, is when you just swallow up free speech and when you swallow up discussion. That's what's happening. Most of this stuff, almost all of this stuff, it's not right-wing. That's why they lost the election, because they ignored all of the millions of people that are left-leaning that know it's BS. That's literally why they lost. They rigged the election. They spit out the most propaganda. Hillary Clinton spent $1.2 billion, the most as any presidential ever. Literally the more money than any president, 2 times as much as Trump spent. She spent on personal attack ads. She spent on Twitter ads, brainwashing women and brainwashing people of color and brainwashing all these people. All the Russian Facebook ads, the biggest Russian Facebook site was Blacktivist. It was a black activist that was organizing anti-Trump rallies that even Michael Moore himself attended. That's a fact. So all of the Russian collusion comes from them. But every time you think that you're some revolutionary or some balanced liberal by saying, oh, you're right-wing for telling me this basic truth, that's who you're aiding. You're aiding the people who rigged the election and are using this Russia 1950s McCarthyism scare to justify doing anything, to overthrowing the president, to censoring Facebook, to changing articles on Twitter, to pushing baseless anonymous conspiracy theories on The Hill and on Wall Street Journal. It's ridiculous. And then you read the article, there's never anything there, but they know how dumb people are. They just read the headline, they read what they see on Facebook, and that's literally what propaganda is. If you look up the definition, it's repeatedly lying until people lie for you, and then it just gets taken over as gospel. And I don't care where it comes from. I don't care if it comes from Russia or Hillary Clinton or the US or China or Qatar. I just want to know the truth. I don't care who's spreading the lies. I don't care if it's Trump, Hillary, Russia, China, Europe. But there is no truth on Facebook anymore. They don't allow it to happen. And if it even slips through the crack like it did with President Trump, or if it slips through the crack like it did with the story today, they bring out all of their weapons to try to destroy the truth wherever it comes out. And it has nothing to do with Republicans. It has nothing to do with being liberal. It's all about the control. And this is what they do every single day. They rig, they cheat, they lie, and when the truth comes out, they go even further. They move the goalpost. They did this all election. They rigged the election and lost. So now they're trying to rig further and further and further and further and further. So if you think you're this woke, Jim Carrey-esque, I'm for the people liberal, congratulations, you're getting played by the technocracy. You're getting played by the corporate elites. You're getting played by the social media companies. You're getting played by the highest, the highest corrupt people from the Democratic and Republican Party. You are getting played because this election, the guy won who they didn't want to win. And all of this is about them regaining control. Has nothing to do with women's rights, has nothing to do with feminism, has nothing to do with racial activism, has nothing to do with all of these policies you think, has nothing to do with stopping the Trump agenda. It has everything to do with these people getting back into power. That's all they want, and they will not stop at anything. So if you want to be an accomplice to that, if you want to oppress people like that, just be a modern-day authoritarianism liberal. You're not a liberal. You're like a fascist borderline robot for like the Hitler administration. That's how creepy it's getting. I mean, at what point do you just look in the mirror, take a deep look at yourself, talk to some people and be like, you know what? Yeah, that's happening. Because it is. You can read the articles yourself. Just get outside that box. And I know it's tough. That's why I try to be very nice as much as possible, because I know how hard it is to get the truth. Because I'm telling you right now, this is the lengths that they go to censor people. These are the lengths that they go to silence and close out the truth. They have every stonewall imaginable set in place to stop the truth. And if it does slip by, it's racist, it's Russian, it's right-wing, it's Republican. That's what's hot now. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm sure 30 years ago, 40 years ago, probably would have been the opposite. They would have thrown it under the right wing or during the Bush administration, and then everyone would have been like, yeah, let's start a war, right wing. But I'm just talking about right now, that's what's happening. And unless liberals wake up, unless left-leaning people drop the ego, drop the stubbornness, and drop the pride, which we all should do, left-leaning and right-leaning alike, it's not a partisan thing, it's a human being thing. That's how you elevate to the highest level of consciousness, is you drop the ego, you drop the drop the stubbornness, and start learning and observing. But it's getting past the point of acceptable. It's getting past the point of normal. And if they keep pushing successfully, and if people who claim to be liberal keep aiding that oppression, being like, yeah, go ahead, screw white people, screw Republicans, screw high taxes, screw low taxes, whatever, this is what's going to happen, a complete Orwellian state. We're already almost there. I'm not worried. I'm not scared or whatever. I know it's not going to work out. Just like it didn't work with Trump. They tried everything under the sun, but they can't stop the people. They can't stop the truth. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. Good try, but fail. It's not going to work now either. And there's millions of people popping up all the time like me. I saw this, this cool girl. I don't know where she's from, American, talking truth like me. You got people on the left and the right talking truth like me. They're popping up all over everywhere on Facebook. They're popping up all over on YouTube. They're popping up on Twitter. You got 15-year-old kids from Georgia becoming rock stars, and I love it. So hopefully this inspires you as well. It's the greatest time to be alive. It's the greatest time to really make something yourself. There's an old quote that says, in time of chaos is the best time to level up and succeed. And I truly believe that in this time of pure chaos, whether you love Trump or hate Trump, it is a chaotic time. It's chaotic for the news. It's chaotic for the politicians. It's chaotic for the people. This is the best time to level up. Because if you don't come from a well-connected family, if you don't come from one of the elite families, whether you're Democratic or Republican, yes, it is. The system is rigged against you. It's all a pyramid scheme, and we're not really supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be allowed to talk to you. I'm not supposed to be able to compete with the major news organizations, but I am, because I use this time of chaos to level up, and I've been working hard my whole life. That's the American dream. I hope you're inspired to do the same, whether it's good journalism, good news analysis, good video footage, conversations with friends, just being a decent person, having a nice conversation and letting people know that, everyone's not out to get them, smiling at somebody, whatever. Everything matters. We're all connected. The world is a beautiful place. So anything you could do, I hope it does inspire you, because it is the greatest time ever to be alive, and the lies aren't going to work. The deception's not going to work. It hasn't worked. It's done. It's over. But this is their really desperate attempt to try to, snatch it back. But luckily, it's just not working. But hopefully, people can watch this video and see really how deep the rabbit hole goes on Twitter, Facebook, even balanced news publications like Wall Street Journal. That they do a good job of sometimes telling the truth, just like, and they're considered more right-leaning. I'm not hating on left-leaning or news sources or whatever. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm rolling the dice and letting them land where they land. I'm not picking sides. This is just the way it's happening right now. I wish it was the other way so other people could listen, but whatever. Thank you guys so much for listening. God bless you. God bless the world. God bless America, and God bless the universe, the planet, this and that. If you would like to donate and support the news analysis, I would appreciate it. If not, I appreciate your likes, comments, shares. All of that stuff's incredible. It's allowing us to level up. The engagement is through the roof. So thank you. That's more than enough. Your love, your blessings, your good energy, and just your presence is more than enough. But I do appreciate that. If you would like to pick up a shirt or hat, dreamrare.com. I don't make that many profits from that, but I think it's cool that people can wear, the gear and spread good energy in the physical realm. I'm going to put my email link below. My new website is going to take a while to really roll out in the full, but it's worldcloudnetwork.com. I'm very busy filming, editing, doing a million things all day. And also the email list will be below. It's free and easy. My website is legendary.vision. If you would like me to speak at a school, university, event, whatever, I can do all sorts of things. I could talk about politics. I could literally not talk about politics all the time. I could just talk about spirituality and life. And you know what I'm saying? Really hype up a bunch of kids. I won't even say a thing about politics. We'll just talk about good energy and motivation. I could do it all. So, if you guys have any connections at any schools or any events, let them know, level up. It's 2018. It's time to get Anomaly, out there speaking to the kids or speaking to anyone. Like I said, it doesn't have to be political. If it's a political event, I'll talk about politics. But if not, I have no problem. I don't even really care about politics. I care about the mind, body, the soul, the spirit, and just the truth. That's what's more important to me than even politics. I just use politics as a platform to bring people together and to spread that good message. It's the best platform in the world right now, especially so many people tuned into it. Thank you guys so much again. Have a good night. I'm going to go do something, and I appreciate you guys greatly, greatly, greatly. Very big media day, another huge media spin, and you just got to wonder at what point is it going to end. And at what point are people going to just get fed up to the point where it's like, you know what? No Jim Carrey, no Rob Reiner. Stop pressuring Facebook into turning into a complete police state, technocratic Orwellian 1984 style censorship platform. I mean, it's just getting weird. Thank you guys so much. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.